Something that sadly a lot of people don't realize is all the ways in which they help to hold up the patriarchy. And it's so important to understand the root of the issues that we're dealing with before there are consequences that can't be undone. So at the top of this pyramid is femicide. And this is always the question. Why did no one do anything? Why didn't she leave? Why didn't, her friends, family, whatever, step in? And it's actually very easy to see why, starting with things like sexist humor and devaluing women. I, for one, have never in my life laughed at a "that's what she said" joke because I really think it is maybe the worst joke that has ever been introduced into the mainstream. I have seen that joke really innocently be turned into into devaluing women, right? Because somebody will say something stupid and then somebody even stupider will say "that's what she said," and all of a sudden the whole room is now imagining a woman being devalued. And I really fucking hate that. There has never been anything funny to me about that, especially as a woman. I do not enjoy jokes at my expense. And I do not enjoy jokes that make this kind of shit okay. And I'm really glad because I haven't heard that joke be used in the mainstream by anyone other than boomer millennials who still think that The Office is the funniest show ever written. It's not. And a lot of it was written at women's expense. And a lot of it contributed to this kind of sexist humor and devaluing women. The "that's what she said" joke is especially to blame for that. It's one of the things that set women back about 50 fucking years. I hate that joke. As the woman in the room, it automatically feels like the joke is aimed at me, and it automatically feels like it devalues me. Oh, stuffing something, that's what she said. Grinding something, that's what she said. Oh, sucking on something, that's what she said. You are devaluing women as a whole. Because who is she? Who is she? It's me. It's the woman in the room. So fuck you for that. Definitely be careful and wary around men who make light of this kind of, sexist humor and devaluing women, right? And when something goes wrong and a woman is at fault, the first joke they make is, "oh, this is why we shouldn't let women do things." Which is interesting because men have fucked so many things up that we've lost count at this point. But a small mistake on a woman's part is why all women shouldn't do things. So you see how this contributes, right? So every time a sexist joke is made, really it does start right here, because every time that women try to speak up about sexist humor that devalues women, everyone always says, "oh, we can't make jokes anymore. Oh, well, I guess we just can't laugh and have a good time anymore." That always pissed me off too, because who's laughing? Who's laughing at these jokes? We can't have fun anymore. Who? The men can't have fun anymore. Women are just supposed to deal with jokes at their own expense so that men can have fun. You see, the patriarchy and the hierarchy is present in that statement. Men should be allowed to make jokes at your own expense because that's fun for men, and men should be allowed to have fun. Why are you taking the fun away from men? You're taking the fun away from me. I don't want to be sitting there in a room, somebody makes a dumbass joke, and now I'm just reduced down to a sexual object. That's not fun for me. Lack of empathy is actually astounding. It's actually fucking astounding for the men who insist on their right to make these types of jokes, that it's funny, and that everybody should be able to have fun and laugh a little. Well, some of us aren't laughing because it's not fucking funny. And this, of course, seamlessly translates into, well, it's fun for men to approach women. Well, why can't the boys just have a little fun? Well, it's fun for men to touch women without their permission or without their consent. It's funny. And why can't the boys just have a little fun at women's expense, at your expense? Nobody talks about that part. People get really mad when you bring up that part. Because why are you demonizing men and nobody means anything that much by it? Then just don't say it. If you don't want to mean anything by it, then don't say it. It's really that simple, but there's a lot more at stake. It's a lot more about putting women in their place. All of this ends with femicide up at the very top, just so that we're all aware. If making derogatory jokes towards women means that much to you, just know that what it trickles up into is the elimination of women from life on this earth. Well, unfortunately, nothing can be done. By that virtue, we just carry on supporting these next few levels on this pyramid, which involve things like approaching women without consent, touching women without consent, because it's okay to make sexist jokes without women's consent. To just ignore women when they talk about these jokes devalue me. These jokes are not okay. This is sexist. And you say, no, we're not going to do anything about that because then nobody can have any fun anymore. But when women are always the butt of a joke and when they're always being devalued, of course, approaching and touching them without consent is not a big deal. Of course it's not a big deal because we've already told them nothing can be done about this or this. That's just how it is, boys will be boys. Approach you without consent, and then when you say something about please don't do that or hey, this is actually not okay, they fall back on, guess what? This is why it's important that sexist humor exists, because they fall back on, oh, well, you just don't have a sense of humor. You're not easygoing. What, people can't talk to you. People can't, say something nice to you. People can't joke with you, so people can't say anything nice to you. This supports this. Okay, and this supports this. So once we start talking about approaching and touching without consent, it's actually not a far leap to rape and abuse. Not a far leap at all, because even though these things may be happening without some sort of explicitly evil intent, what's more dangerous than somebody being outright evil is somebody being so selfish and so self-centered that they don't see how all of these things connect. And because they just want to have a little fun with it, because they just want to live in a world where nothing can be done about any of these things. It translates seamlessly into the kind of attitude that says, well, I will just take what I want. Since you're not going to have a good humor about it, since you're not going to let me devalue you, you're not wanting me to approach or touch you without consent, I'll just take it. I'll just abuse you. I'll just grape you. But then, of course, when we get to the top of the pyramid and a woman has paid for all of this with her life, she has paid for all of these little jokes and all of these little devaluations with her life, then we all act shocked and we all are like, well, what could we have done? Nothing. You didn't want to do anything about the little things that help to support this structure in place. It always starts with something small. It always starts with something small. The reason that these things exist and occur, and they exist and occur on a much larger scale than they do with men. Women get killed at alarming rates by men. The reason that that doesn't happen very much to men is because we don't normalize sexualized jokes about men, and we don't normalize the casual devaluing of men, comparing them to a dishwasher, comparing them to just a paycheck, comparing them to something lesser than a human being. That's what we don't do. And that's why there's not a bunch of women who think that it's okay to just take a man off the face of this earth when he disagrees with them or doesn't let them have their way. Because there's benefit to abusive men in these structures. That's why they say that nothing can be done about it, is because they want to go on raping, abusing, and killing you women. It all starts with, that's what she said. Funny little joke that's made at your expense, and now you feel uncomfortable. Now you feel like all eyes are on you and you feel devalued. You wonder why men feel so comfortable approaching you, touching you without consent. It's because you are constantly over-sexualized and devalued. Your value is instrumental to how you are treated all the way up to the top of that pyramid. And that's why we have such insane offing rates of women by men specifically. And I've really never seen it illustrated better than this. This makes perfect sense to me. It's unfortunately nothing can be done. We can't police all of these things, and we have to let boys be boys and let bygones be bygones, and it was just a joke, and oh, he didn't mean it, and oh, well, he just wanted to talk to you, and oh, well, he just thought you were pretty, and oh, well, he's just insecure, and oh, well, you just said no too many times. And then it's, oh my God, how did this happen? How did this happen? When will men stop killing women? Never, never. As long as all this shit exists, never. So please don't hang out with people that are hanging out down here. It will inevitably lead up this pyramid, maybe not all the way up, but at some point, you're going to feel more than just over-sexualized and devalued, which is bad enough. But at some point, people that push boundaries in these two bottom categories, they're going to push your boundaries in these top categories as well. Just please be sure you know that, and take care of yourself out there. I love you so much. Godspeed.